Okay, so this week I kind of made a little bit of a change of plans. This week we're gonna talk about coaching your appointments, but I realized after training last week's booking session was that I didn't give you some things I think are really important, and that is I want to go over today the boss system, the boss book that you're going to set up for your booking strategy, for your booking system. And I want to make sure that I set you up for success with that, because then you can have some really powerful just strength in knowing what to say, all the things we talked about last week. Okay. So first, let me just tell you that as I'm doing these trainings, I'm working on building, getting the vouchers done and stuff. So please be patient with me. You may have gotten, you haven't gotten the voucher yet. I do have the website almost done. I just had a little wrinkle in being able to have the time to get it there. So just be patient with me there. And as we get really strong in getting this training just amazing and getting you used to it and making sure you know when it is and making sure you know where to find the information, it's just going to keep getting better, and we'll just I'll keep tweaking things and making it more and more. So I would love your feedback on this. I would love just your aha moments, your BFOs, your blinding flashes of the obvious. Anything would help me have just any feedback would help me make this better. So I just want to know, what can I do to make this training better for you? So however you want to text that, you could text it to me. I'll try to set up a survey. I haven't quite gotten there yet, but Wednesdays is my day that I have childcare all day, and I can actually concentrate and get things done and really work with you. So all of that said, I am so honored to be training and to have technology to do this. I can't even begin to tell you. And I love training on this because in the beginning of my business, I became a strong booker. I was really afraid of it. It was the thing I was most afraid of. So if you're an introvert and you're watching this and you're like, this scares me, I have to talk to people, like, that was my fear too. And I want you to know that the number one reason that I did it anyway was because I wanted to be a confident person. And I didn't feel confident in this area. And I knew the only way to become confident in this was to do it. So I actually, without realizing it, practiced one of the biggest abundance principles out there. And I practiced, then I celebrated. I practiced, then I celebrated. And I could see how much I grew, and a lot of course, bumps along the road, but it became the coolest thing in my business. And it's why I earned my car so fast. And it's why I built a team. And it's why I became a director, because I became a really strong, confident booking person. So I want to give you the tool today of what the Mary Kay world calls the 21-day challenge. I call it in our unit your BOSS, BOSS. So booking operation, but actually this is what I call it, business operation for sustainable success. And that's because everything starts with booking, everything. So if you have nothing on your date book and you're frustrated and you're ready to quit, here's the message I have for you. Just do this for a week. Just do these calls in the system for just a week. Something will shift for you, I promise. When you're in action, you get energy from that. When you're not in action, you're thinking about it. Thinking just paralyzes you, versus action gives you energy. So I always know I get a lot of energy from booking, and I like to make my booking calls during the day, because if I make them at night, as I used to, and I did it last night, I did make my booking calls last night because it was the time I had. It gives me energy and I can't fall asleep. So just find a time that works for you. But you'll get energy and you'll build your confidence, and you'll have so much to celebrate, but you'll feel it moving through you because you're sharing your energy with others. Am I having the most rotten hair day or what? I mean, I still look cute, but okay. So anyways, this is what happens when you're staring at yourself in a camera. So let's talk about your boss, and let's talk about what that is. And I'm going to show you how I set it up. And you, as you do this, you're going to find a system that works better for you. Now, there's a lot of different versions of this. I'm going to show you mine, and I'm going to give you just some principles and tips that are going to support you to make sure that you make this work in your life, because this business is about you being able to be flexible with it. Okay. So the boss system. So last week when we talked about booking and we talked about the who, the when, the where, those key things all still apply. Now setting this up will help you just really anchor in a foundation of everything flowing together, because you'll be prepared. Remember how we talked about when you're prepared, you are prepared for success. I don't remember the quote right now, but if you're not prepared, you're basically prepared to fail by not being prepared. So being prepared in this way will really support you. So first, let me just start off with telling you that I have a calendar. I buy my own calendar. Now, I used to use the Mary Kay calendar, and it's a great calendar, and I just might go back to it. Like, it is a fantastic calendar, but I use a different calendar now, but it's just bigger than the Mary Kay one. So don't worry. And I know last week we talked about how you go through your calendar and highlight the days and times you're going to work, the times you're going to book, the times you're going to hold appointments, so that you can set yourself up for success in when you offer opportunities. When you say, okay, I can come to you on this day, or if you want to come alone, I can do Monday nights at my success night. We have fun ladies night if you want to get out at 6:30 in Motley. Like, those things are really important. So having all that set up and then setting this up, okay? So what the 21-day or the boss is really a system. It's just a system of what do you do every day in your business. It's just like when you go to work, you know that you have these tasks you have to get done. You have your 6 most important things at work. Now, the 6 most important things list, let me segue and explain what that is. The 6 most important things list came from Mary Kay, but actually it came from someone else, a consultant. You can read about this in her autobiography, highly recommended. She talked about how productivity, when you just make a list the night before you go to bed of the 6 most important things to get done the next day in different facets of your life. So I have one on one page that says Mary Kay, and on the other page it says personal. And every night almost I write that out, okay? And I say almost because I'm not perfect. And let me see if I can find it so I can show you. And I use one of these composition notebooks because they're like 10 cents sometimes during school sales. So I kind of stock up for the year. I'll get 4 or 5. I don't need a ton. I'll get like I don't know, quite a few of them. And I kind of have like just a backlog of these just because when they're on sale, why not? And then what I do is every night before I go to bed, I'll go, okay, here's let me go back to one page because I didn't do it last night. So there you go. So here you can see I've got the date, and then here's my personal list of things. And then over here is my Mary Kay one. Okay. So I write out the 6 most important things, and the top 3 on the Mary Kay side are income producing activities. So typically it's going to be booking new, doing my boss system, which I'm about to train you on. The second thing is going to be maybe calling customers to check on them, or calling customers just to say, I appreciate you so much. Whatever it is, it's income producing, meaning you're connecting with people and there could be income coming from it. But a checkup on a customer would be good. 2 weeks, 2 days, 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. We'll talk about that. And then the third one might be prospecting, coaching. Okay, like the top 3 or 4 are going to be income producing. The last few are going to be things that you need to do, like maybe your weekly accomplishment sheets. Maybe it's going to be filling out your business tracking register. We're going to talk about money. We'll do that. Okay, so that's going to go on the bottom. Or if you're like me right now, I'm cleaning out this filing cabinet that's next to me in my office because it's not being utilized well, and I want to clean it out and make it a little more efficient for me. So that's going to help me in a way, because you need to have time for that too. But make the number 1 thing on your list your bookings, okay? And as you grow your business, it'll change. You might, as a director, go, I have 5 directors in qualification. You might need to be following up with prospects, okay? So it'll change as you grow your business. But right now, as a new consultant, it's booking, and it's following up with customers that just bought product, and it's coaching your new team members, or I'm sorry, coaching your hostesses that you've booked. Then new team members will come after you've started that process, which we will go over. Okay, so this composition notebook, I love when I'm done, I just toss it out and get a new one, and so that's it. Or actually I can keep this for taxes too, because it could be a record for taxes. So I wouldn't throw it away. I don't think I throw all mine away. I just put it in my tax box for the year. So that's 6 most important things list. And it's awesome. And so make sure to set that up. Here is, so now knowing your 6 most important things, when you write it out the night before, and then the next morning, you know, this is what I need to do. And sometimes if you work a full-time job, just know you might not have 6 most important things. You might just have 1. But I would say, I read this fantastic book called The One Thing. I believe it's by Gary Keller, the author, or he's the co-author, one of the two. But if you Google The One Thing, fantastic book. He talks about the one thing that you need to do every day in different facets of your life. And for me, the one thing I need to do in my business is book. The one thing, at least right now, that's the one thing that's going to change the facet of my business. It's book appointments, book new appointments. So it might be that for you. And sometimes you're busy and maybe you can only make 1 phone call. So that's what you do. Okay. So just know this is not an all or nothing program. This is not it. I've learned the hard way. I am a recovering all or nothinger. So if you're a recovering all or nothinger, please text me and say, I'm recovering with you, Bessa, and we will work on this together. Because sometimes for me, I get caught up in it still, and I have to remind myself I did something and celebrate that I did something. So the something that I can do every day is make 1 call. So if I'm off the wagon, the way I can get back on is 1 phone call. And sometimes it's just a gratitude call to a customer. And sometimes it's just a I love you call to one of my team members that I love. And it changes my energy and it puts me back in that space. So all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally love this. I love what I do. It changes everything. So, knowing how to do your 6 most important things list and being flexible with it and understanding the all or nothing club, let's get into your boss system. So no matter what you do in this business, this system will support you to create success in your life, to create success in your business, to bring you to the dream that you have, whatever that is financially. Okay. So here's what I have. Let me just explain this a little bit. So this system basically has you touch a customer. What I mean by touch is that you're going to call. Okay, so you're gonna make 6 separate attempts, for the most part, not always, but 6 separate attempts to catch people. Let me explain why you're gonna make 6 separate attempts, because the last thing you're gonna do is be a stalker. That's not what this is, and you'll know when I go through it and explain to you what you say and how you do it. Then it's a little bit different. It's gonna sound different. Okay, it's very sweet. So, but 6 attempts, because there's statistics in sales that show that on the first attempt, like you might only get like a 20% response. Okay. And then on the second, it only goes up 10%. On the third, it only goes up another 10%. On the fourth, it goes up this. But by the 5th or 6th, it goes up 80%. And it's because, and you'll learn this as you're working this system. And for us, a sales attempt is booking. Okay. I'm not talking about you selling product, although this would work in that way too. But I'm talking about when it comes to booking and you setting yourself up for booking success. When you stay consistent, when you go to call someone, you get their voicemail and they haven't called you back. Imagine how many times you've gotten a voicemail that you haven't called back because you were busy, or it got buried in your voicemail, or the text got lost. Okay, so just imagine that. That happens to a lot of people, and you following up on a call and not just calling once is going to make a difference. Okay, it's going to make a difference, and not just in you honoring your word, because that's what you're going to do, but also in there's people out there that want what you have to offer, and because if you don't call them back, you won't know. Okay, so be in the space of understanding and put yourself in their shoes. If you're busy and you don't call back, and let's just be honest, how many of you have called me back from a voicemail? How many? I mean, I know if you're a seasoned consultant, you can raise your hand and say you might not have ever called me back from some of my voicemails. So, and that's probably not because of anything other than you're busy and it wasn't that important to you, right? So when you call back, you make it a commitment, and because it's you honoring you and it's you honoring your commitment to your goal. And especially when you catch someone and they're like, can you call me in March? This is going to help you organize your booking system so that you don't lose people. Okay. And you honor your word of calling them when they ask you to. All right, so let's dive in. Understanding those statistics and knowing that you can create these amazing things in your business, okay? Let's go there. Okay, sidebar real quick. I made a video of me on this past Monday night, live booking, and I uploaded it to YouTube. I'm gonna send it to you so that you can hear me booking and you can see a little bit of this system in there. But I wanted to make it because I want you to know and hear how I respond to things. Now, I did not in the video put that person on speakerphone for confidentiality, okay? I know you can hear the information that I'm asking her about, but so I made this a confidential video because I just want you to be able to listen and learn and hear how I respond to things and hear how the script comes out where it's just naturally me. So that's what that's for. So know that that is also going to come with this too. You're going to have that access to live booking with Bessa. It's about an hour. You don't have to listen to the whole thing, but you might want to. And really anchor in becoming a really strong booker in this business, because in direct sales, booking is everything. That's just how it is. Okay, so first off, you'll see in my video, what I do, when I call right now, I'm calling referrals. You're a new consultant probably, you're probably calling new people. I have a script for new consultant booking on my website. I pulled up my website, we'll look at that together, but I wanna tell you, speaking from where I'm at right now, is I'm calling referrals. Now, what I do is with my referrals, when you get your profile card and they play the game on the back, I have an assistant do this, but it would be easy for you to do. Just make it a part of your weekly routine after you hold your facials and appointments to go in, put your customers in the weekly accomplishment sheets, put them into my customers and track them in there. And then to just take a spreadsheet and put their information in, okay? And how I have this lined up is I have the name, the phone number, okay? And then I have the person who referred them in the next column. So I can be looking at this sheet and just go, okay, this is who I'm going to call. And then next to it is on this sheet, this is a little bit outdated now, but I have it changed on my profile card that asks the person who referred them when they play the name game. It says, what city do they live in? And I talk about this in the booking video I made, but it's important to me because I live in a small town in central Minnesota that I can, if I'm going to book in St. Cloud, which is an hour and 15 minutes away, that if I'm going to go there on a Sunday and do 3 appointments, I'm going to try to book all the St. Cloud appointments I can on that Sunday. And then I'm going to call those people and plan for that. So it helps me to be strategic in where I'm going. So if you get referrals from out of town and you are willing to travel 1 day a month, that's how you can organize that better. So really up to you, but on this sheet, it wasn't quite done yet. It just says the city that the referrer is from, which kind of helps me too. But in this area, everyone's from everywhere. In all these small towns, they know everybody. So it's just those things. In the city, it's kind of the same thing, except for you can get places a little bit faster, I think. So, okay, and then it also says how she knows her. So in this case, this gal says this is her cousin on the top of the list. So when I call, I can say, oh my gosh, we have your cousin in common, and she's, you know, more connected to me and knowing that I'm not crazy, right? So it's good. So that's one piece of this boss system that you'll want to know, is that I have my referrals on here. If you made your wedding list, you're going to do that. If you want to put your wedding list in a spreadsheet, you can. You do not have to. Just use your notebook. No worries. Okay, so then here's what I use, okay? This is the sheet I use, and this is on my website, and I call it your boss bubble sheet, and it looks like this, okay? And here's what I like about it. Let me share the screen with you real quick. Okay, hold on. I'm going to go grab this, and I'm going to show it to you. But I got to get in there first. So it's under our website, under Bessa's Favorites. And it's going to be under bubble sheet for boss. It's going to be under boss. I have an entire section. Okay, let me share my screen here so you can see this. So here we go. Here we go. So when you're in my website, okay, you're going to go over here, click on Bessa's Favorites. Everything, I think almost everything I use is in here. Everything that I would train you on, any documents in here. When you scroll down, you'll see a boss section, business operation for sustainable success, aka 21-day challenge. Okay, the bubble sheet for boss is right here. Okay, this is this video we're making right now is going to go up in this link, and then you can go watch it. Okay, but the bubble sheets right here. Here are the scripts. You've got the boss new consultant scripts, the boss bridal scripts, and the boss referral scripts. So you can go print these off, make your little folder, and you're good. But let me just open this up so you can see it. So, okay, so this is the sheet. Now, this has 6 sheets to it on purpose. So let me explain. This is how I do this. I print this out so that it's a 5-day system. Everyone does this differently. I set this up for me this way, okay? Because I don't want to make calls on Saturdays because I take Saturdays off. If you, and then Sundays, I don't want to make calls either because Sundays is a work day for me and my goal is to hold 3 parties on a Sunday, okay? What's going on? Okay, sorry. I'm sorry for that disruption. Boxer was talking to me. So that's why I have a 5-day sheet. And on the end of this, there's a tracking sheet. Okay, so just know at the very bottom here, here's your tracking sheet because the track number grows. And this sheet explains how to use this in case you forgot from watching this video. All right, so let me just show you what I do. So what I do is I print it off and I start it on whatever day I'm going to start it. So so today's a Wednesday. So if you started this today, you just need 2 sheets because that's all you're going to do if you're going to do it the way I'm doing it. But pick the days you're going to do it. If you're going to do it 6 or 7 days a week, totally great. Just print 2 extra sheets from this, okay? And then make that your 7-day week. But let's just start, okay? So obviously you put your name in, your unit is the Regan Racers unit, and your goal, and then your start date. So if today's the date, it's February 2nd, you put, February 1st, put February 1st on here. And then what you do is you'll just go over here and you'll go, okay, you're gonna make your call. So what I do right here is on this spot, right here on this first line is I put the name of the person I'm calling, okay? And then below it, I put her phone number. And then below here, I put who referred her. So if Susie is the person I'm calling, then I'm gonna put her cell phone, and then I'm gonna put Mary, and then this bottom line right here is just for notes for me to remember. So anything I wanna write, but I usually know if she's a coworker, a friend, an aunt, a mother, and I'll usually write that right next to her name right here on this line. Then I leave this line open for whatever I need, So these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little lines here, those are the attempts, the possible attempts that you'll be making so you can keep track of it. So I made this, so here's what I do. I'd call her, and you'll see this, how I do this in the booking video I just made on Monday. And then I'll put the date right here, and then I'll put LM for left message 1. So that's what I'll do, left message 1, okay? And then I'll go through and I'll make all calls for that 1 sheet for this day, all right? And then I'm done for my calling for the day, okay? I'm done. I don't need to call anymore, I'm done. So that's the basics of this, but let me give you, I don't know if that's bugging this or not. Sorry about that. But let me give you just some really cool tips I'm going to show you on mine. Okay, that's really important to know about this boss system. So here's my one from a few days ago. Okay, so I use highlighters. Highlighters mean everything. So you'll want to write this down. You're going to want to have a yellow highlighter. And I don't know if you can use yellow if you want. I kind of stopped using it because the bubbles tell me. A blue highlighter, a pink one, and a green one, okay? Depending upon the kind of call you're going to make, the most that you're going to use is pink and blue and even yellow. But this is what you'll do, okay? The yellow means you contacted them, but you did not get a hold of them, okay? So what I'll do is if I left a message and then sent a text message, which I'll go through in a second, I'll just take the yellow highlighter and after I wrote the date in and the LM and the TM 1, so that I know I sent them 1 message, then I'll highlight right here in the yellow, okay? So, but I'll wait till I'm done with the entire sheet, and I'm gonna tell you why, okay? So I'll do that, all right? Now, if I get a hold of them and I book them, then I'm gonna take my pink highlighter. I always have a pink highlighter right here. My pink highlighter, these are from Office Depot, you can get them really cheap. And I'll fill in the entire bubble pink. Then I know I booked her, it's done, okay? So then that person's done. But if I didn't book her, I don't fill in the bubble, okay? So just remember, Yellow, you contacted them, didn't respond. Blue is if they responded. Did they respond to you? So check my sheet out here, okay? You can see this girl responded, and I talked to her, and you know what? She has a consultant. So I X'd her out, and I filled it in blue, just tells me talk to her, but she didn't book because she has a consultant. So done with that one. And then I wrote HC for has a consultant, just reminds me, okay? Down here, you can see the pink bubble, she booked, okay? Down here, I just circled this one because she responded, but she said, call me in March. We'll talk about what to do with those people, okay? And then you can see more bookings happen down here. This gal just wasn't interested, and then this gal booked. So there you go, okay? Now, you can see my little notes on here with these up here. First attempt. These ones have 2 attempts now. First attempt on January 26, 2017, left message 1. Second attempt on the 31st, the 17th, left message and text message. Because I forgot to text message this time on the first one, which is my bad, but at least I knew, so I could go back and see what I did. Okay, so I might text message again. But so here's what you'll do, okay? So let me back up and review because I'm a little bit all over the place, so forgive me. When you go to make your calls, this one sheet will be for one day, and you'll make these 12 phone calls. And then you'll leave a message, and if you leave a message, you'll leave a text message, and the scripts tell you exactly what to say. So in the case of referrals, I'm calling and saying exactly what's on my sheets, but I'm just going to tell you, I'm saying, this is Bessie, you don't know me, but we have Sarah in common, and I have a really fun surprise for you from her, and I can't wait to tell you about it. I don't think voicemail does it justice. So when you get a chance, just give me a call back. My number is 612-568-8275. I'm going to make you smile. Talk to you soon. Click. So then I go on here and I already wrote her name in the square, put the date, left message 1, okay? And then I go to the next call and I go leave my messages or get a hold of people. I just track it on here. And then I'll go back through and go, okay, who didn't I get a hold of? And I'll text message them, okay? And so then I leave a text message, and this is in the scripts, and you can just copy that text message into your notes in your phone, and then you'll be able to copy and paste it over and just change the names. So you don't have to keep typing it out, okay? And then you'll send the text message and write in the little note next to it TM for text message 1, for if it's the first or second or third text message, okay? And then you're done with that, okay? And then you can use the yellow highlighter on it. If you hadn't heard back from her by the time you got done with the sheet and you text message but you hadn't heard back, you can use the yellow highlighter. But if you heard back, like I had a gal on one of these sheets from last night leave me a message, but I'm going to call her back today. I didn't get a chance to talk to her last night. So I'll call her back today, and I think I circled her in blue just to tell myself I'm in connection, it's not done yet, okay? So that I know what's going on, okay? So now here's how this system works. If you call today, okay, so hopefully that all makes sense. If you call today, you'll have your first day done, okay? And in the text messages, it says on the bottom, if I don't hear back from you, I'll try you in a few days, okay? So on the bottom of this sheet, let's look at this sheet together here. You'll see that I put down here number 2. Oh, looks like day came off there, but oh well. Number 2, day 3, day number 4, day number 5. Okay, I don't know why that got messed up. Forgive me, right over it. But your second attempt is what that means. So put in 3 or 4 days later. Now, here's what I do, okay? Today's Wednesday. When I make my 12 calls for today, I'm gonna go, okay, it's February 1st. And if I look at the calendar, then I'm gonna see that February 1st, if I want to call 3 days later, it's a Saturday. I don't make calls on Saturdays. So I'm going to go to the 6th. And I'm just going to say a few days is going to be the 6th. And I'm going to put them in for being called on February 6th. So on my sheet from yesterday, I put in February 6th because it's not falling on a day that's going to work for me to call. Okay, so just know that you make those business days your call days. I hope you could see my calendar there. But if not, you understood what I was saying. So here's how you set it up to keep it organized with paper. Now, the reason that I have this set up like this, so you've got your 5 attempts you'll make if you don't get a hold of them. You'll call once, text. So first contact is calling, leave a message. Second is a text. The next is a call. The next is a text. Now, they'll happen at the same time. So it's not like you're calling someone 5 times and stalking them. You're not. You're just saying, I know you're busy, or you might be busy, and I just want to make sure you got the voicemail, because some people don't check their voicemail. If I don't hear back from you, I'll call you in a couple days. And especially new consultants watching this, okay? You're going to do your people you know. Some of the people you know are really busy. They're not getting back to you. It's okay. It's not you. It's just that they're busy. So just know that, okay? So when you get to this, when you get to, so today you'd call, text, and then on Friday or Saturday, if you make calls on Saturday, you'll call, text. There is 4 attempts already, okay? And then so the next one is going to be a call and a text too, okay? So there's 6, got it? And that one is going to say, and you'll see this in the scripts, it says, hey, it's Bessa again. I haven't been able to hold you. And something at the end, it says, and you must be really busy. What I'll do is I'll try in a couple months. And then you'll take this sheet when you're done and you'll put it into a couple months from that day. Okay. So, and I'll show you how that looks, but there's a system here to set that up. But before we get there, I wanted to show you how this tracking sheet works. Now, when you've gotten through a solid week of this is powerful. This is powerful. You're going to do these 5 sheets, or make it 6 or 7. Okay. And you could make it 10 calls instead. The original 21-day challenge does 10. I just did 12 to put it into a 5-day business week. Okay, same amount of calls, just putting it into a shorter span of time. You're going to go through and you're going to track this. Okay, so I would suggest a 3-ring binder or something that organizes this for you. I'm going to show you what I do, but it's always changing. You're going to organize something one way, and then you're going to figure out, I like it this way better. Cool, share that with me. I would love to know how you do it, because some of you are so much more talented with that than I am. But you can see on this sheet, it says attract number grows. So take a look at all the sheets that were with this set, okay? And then figure out how many bookings did you get? How many held of all the bookings you got, okay? How much in sales happened from those appointments? And you might have to wait a little bit on this. Sometimes you book something kind of far out, like you're gonna have to just watch it. Total number of faces you did from those sheets, right? Total number of sharing appointments. When you're working full circle at an appointment, you're going to be having sharing appointments. Total number of parties held. A party is 3 or more ladies around a table trying the products with you. Total number of facials. Facials is just 1 or 2 people or 1 person. And total number of double facials is 2. Okay, 2 people at a table. So then you can go, getting this kind of information from your sheets is going to give you something so powerful, okay? It's going to give you the ability to say, when I make 5 bubble sheet boss calls a week, I make this much money. Like, you're going to be able to map out your income like a rock star. You're going to be able, knowing your numbers empowers you to be able to make decisions from a place of knowing that you can do it, because you can see where you're going, you can see where you've been. And when you have clarity, clarity will always empower you. Always. This is something I work on every single day, is how do I gain clarity to free my energy? And this system works. And it works when you track. And tracking, a tracked number does grow. So please, please hear my heart on this. I have consultants say this doesn't work, but they don't track their numbers and they can't tell me what they did. Or this one time I had a consultant that was killing it. Like, I got to tell you, she sold like $4,000 or $5,000 in her first 5 weeks. She was selling like over $1,000 a week. And because she didn't track her numbers, she quit. I was like, she made like $1,200 in her or more in her first 4 or 5 weeks of a brand new business with a loan. And she quit. Her husband wasn't happy. And when it came down to it, she didn't know she was making money because she didn't track it. How often in our lives are we in that place of not knowing where we're at and not knowing this kind of clarity? So I encourage you to, once a month, go back through your bubble sheets, create a binder that has each week of your bubble sheets in it, and go back through and go, okay, did so-and-so hold? How much in sales happened? And look at it. And this is like your little person in your life coming home with their little like fun things, their report card, whatever. This is your report card. This is it. Put a sticker on it. Celebrate what you did. Okay. So anyways, off of that soapbox, let's talk about how to organize this paper, because as much as I want to be paperless, this is one area that I may not be for a while. And I'm okay with it because I really need this kind of, I really need to be touching it because I'm kind of a kinesthetic person. So if you're kinesthetic, you'll love me. But okay, here's what I did. I have folders, just these little folders. These are super cheap in the dollar spot at Target or Walmart. I think these might be Walmart ones. I don't really care for Walmart, so I try not to shop there. But I truly, it doesn't matter where you get them. Just you're gonna want like 5 to 7 folders like this, and you're just gonna label them Monday through however many days you're gonna make these calls. Mine's Monday through Friday. Okay. So then, so if I make the calls today, so I look at my sheet and I go, okay, day 1 is, so here's one from Monday. Let's look at that one we were just looking at. So I know on here that this one was started on January 26th, and then the last attempt I made, which is on the bottom here, I know I have to go to 2/6. So I just look at my calendar and go, okay, that's a Monday. Okay, so whenever I made this call, I'll just go, okay, this sheet, the next time we need to make calls is on the Monday, so I'm going to put the entire sheet into the Monday folder. So then on Monday, I know I just got to open up my Monday folder, and these are the calls I have to do 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th attempts on. So this is how you organize it. Okay, so this is your weekly organization. And then I have just one of these folders. It's just any kind of folder would work, but it's just one of these, and it just holds my folders together, and it sits really nicely in my planner. So it looks, this is just rough, but it works. Okay, so there it is. Cool. All right, now and then that allows me to also keep all my referrals in here, and extra bubble sheets are in the front. So it's all ready, and it just sits in my planner like this. Like, I mean, it's kind of bulky, but whatever. I mean, it works, okay? Whatever works for you works. And then what I have is that I don't need with me all the time, because this is more slim. I can carry it on a plane if I'm traveling to a conference and I'm going to book while I'm there. And I have this kind of a folder, okay? So some people have one for everything, but I didn't want to carry all that around. So I have just this. I got this on clearance, and it has January through December. And so when someone says, call me in March, okay, then when I'm done with that bubble sheet, I'm just going to go put that entire bubble sheet inside the March folder. Or if it's the 2-month time for the script, when it says, you must be really busy, I'll try in a couple months, okay, then you're just going to go, okay, February, March, April. So you're going to just take the bubble sheet when you're done with everybody else in it, stick it in April, and then you know, okay? So whichever person on there, so if someone says call me next month, you're gonna put that there, then you're gonna move it. You just have to watch the sheet, but you'll just put it directly in here. Then you're done. Then every month you go open this up and go, who do I need to call this month? Who's in February? Who's in, you could, if you want, write a separate sheet and write it on there. It's up to you. I just didn't want to have to write again. I just wanted to write just once. So this thing doesn't have to come with me everywhere I go. So when I like right now, I'll go in and I'll go, okay, it's February, who do I need to call in February? And I'll pull February out and I'll stick it in the Monday or whenever day's next for calls to make sure I put them back in rotation. Okay, so see, there is a February in here. Here it is. There's people in February I need to call. Kind of cool. Okay, so that's the organizational part of it. Now this really does work, and it also gives you structure. And for those of you that are from a traditional home that worked 8 to 5, that we talked about this a little bit last time, you're used to having a set schedule and making a certain amount of money. This makes your business a set schedule, not just the weekly plan sheet. The weekly plan sheet is such a big part of that, but it also helps your spouse, if they're from a traditional home, that they'll be able to understand and know, okay, this is what you do, right? I mean, my husband knows that my calls are the most important thing I do. And he knows that I need quiet time for that. And he knows that that nothing happens till that happens. He knows. From years of being a Mary Kay, he knows. So this is really a powerful thing. And as you do it, what I recommend is try it. Start with 1 week. Give it a shot. Track your numbers. It isn't about, yes, it's about bookings. I will tell you that I get an average of 2 or more bookings per 10 calls. I get an average of that, okay? Then, so you'll probably see about 10 or more new bookings a week, okay? Now, once you've gotten through, so let me back up and reiterate a couple things. So what I would do is I would start with this, okay? I would start with 3 days of calls, 3 days of new phone calls, okay? And then I would, to keep it simple, you could do 5 days. If you really want to have some seriousness happen, you want to have serious action in this business, you want to make really good money, okay? Staying consistent with this no matter how much you do is the key, okay? And I would say a minimum of 5 or more calls a day is going to start to create serious momentum, new phone calls, okay? But in the original system, what they did is they took like 3 days of calls. So you'd take 3 sheets, write everyone on. One day you'd call 12 people new, day 2, 12 people new, day 3, 12 people new. And then by the 4th day, you're making the second attempt calls, okay? And you could rotate through those sheets till they were done and then start over. But what they did is when they got to day 4 and they went to go do new people on day 4 to make another 12 calls, because the consistency was in making 12 phone calls a day, then they would just go, okay, well, I only made 8, okay, because those are the people left from when I contacted the rest, then I'm going to make 4 new. Now, totally up to you. I personally, my goal is to make 12 new every day, okay, 5 days a week. That's my goal. That's really it. But if you need to, you can go follow up on those, 36 you did and rotate through them till you're done, and then start with 30 more, 36 more. Okay, so hopefully I didn't lose you there, but I want you to know, practice this, track it, see what happens. It's awesome. It works. You will find that you will have activity, and a consulting activity is definitely a happier consultant. So that's my recommendation. If you're not getting the results you want, we need to have a talk, because if you're doing all this, you're not getting the results, or you're getting no's, then I need you to go back and re-memorize the scripting I told you to memorize, because it's really important that you develop the skill of communication, especially if you're an introvert. Like, if you can memorize it, you especially are going to grow the most. You're going to get so much more out of this because you're developing the skill of confidence. Everyone is, but especially you. So anytime someone says they're getting no's, I pretty much can guarantee that they're not using my scripts. I can guarantee it, because I rarely get a no. I never get someone saying no. Like, they usually will say, this just really isn't for me. I really appreciate it though. I mean, but it's never a no. Never. Especially with the people that that when you ask them just to help you, they just want to help you. But did you ask that way? So some food for thought, okay? So let's reiterate the BOSS system and just some highlights from what we talked about, okay? So consistency is the key, right? This will provide you clarity. Clarity will always empower you. Set up your system. Go get your folders. Make them Monday through Sunday if you want, just to be safe. If you don't make calls a couple days, that's okay. But set it up so it's very easy for you to follow. It's very, very easy for you. So get your folders. Set up your monthly one, your yearly, really. It's the monthly, but yearly, okay? Could be more folders like this in another little system, but this is kind of nice because it's all compact. I like this one because it was smaller. I didn't like the really bulky ones I saw people using, so that's why I did that. Make sure you have your scripts in there. Print your scripts off, put them inside your weekly ones so you're ready to go, okay? Have your referrals in an easy place to manage, or your wedding list that you put together when you first started, okay? And be ready to have success. Expect success, because expecting success is probably the #1 key. Go back to in the first video when I said to imagine her saying to you, I'm so glad you called me today. Imagine her saying that to you. That's exciting, right? So, so just know that you've got what it takes. Okay. This is just a skill, and skills can be taught. And you know, some people, a lot of people, you'll hear this a lot. People say, I'm just not the sales type. I'm an introvert. You know, I want you to just remember this. No one's asking you to be an extrovert at all. Be yourself. We've talked about that a lot. Be yourself, and know that this is a skill. Selling is a skill. Booking is a skill. There is nothing you can't learn today. Okay, so be in the frame of mind and have the attitude that you are open and willing to learn and grow. That's where magic happens in your life. That's where you teach your kids that how to do that too. That's where you teach your kids that. Okay, your future kids if you don't have any. All right, so be in that space of learning and growing. And sometimes for me in booking, I had to let go of worrying about any results because I was so scared to do it that you would never believe me. Okay. But I remember I would just back way up and go, I'm just going to make her day to day. I don't even care what she says. And that's truly where I come from in my heart when I make calls. I come from that place of, I'm going to make her day. And I don't care what she says, but I'm going to offer from a place of peace. And when you can be in that place, you're not in the way. You're in the way when you're telling yourself things like, I'm not good at sales, people are saying no to me, then you weren't in the space of giving. Okay, so come from that space of giving, and you can set an intention. I want you to have an intention, but I don't want you to be so attached to it that you have to get in the way. So be in that space and just know that if I can do it, you can do it. I was so chicken. I wish you could have saw me. It took me years to get down. Even I just said to my husband the other day, I said, I've been doing a lot of head work. I've been doing meditation. I've been doing spring forest qigong, and I've been working a lot on my nutritional health. And I said, finally, when I would get someone crabby on the phone, I didn't feel like it would just stunt me. I said, finally, it didn't feel like that. So I want you to know that I just kept pushing through that so that I could be a stronger person, so I could leave with peace and know I did my best on the phone with her. My heart was clean. Was her heart? It's not my job to know about that. But it had nothing to do with me if she was upset. Nothing. I didn't do it. I just offered her a free facial from a friend. And if she was mad about it, well, she was just having a bad day or something. You never know how you're catching people. I mean, I know for me, wow. I mean, think about the hormones we go through, ladies. Think about that. Like, I mean, seriously, who even knows how we're going to catch a girl, right? So anyway, you just have to remember to separate from a place of peace and make your calls and set up your system and work this business and look for the yeses and look for the people while you're making calls that are going to bless you, that are going to be your best customers for life. And let me just tell you a couple stories I can think of about the customers I've met. When I was new, I was so scared to do this business, and I didn't have a whole lot of people to pull from. I did not have a wedding list, let me just be clear, of people that were at least close to me at all that I could do this with. And I actually would go warm chatting. And warm chatting is where you go out and meet people at the mall and just offer them a facial. And it was really scary for me. Let me be totally clear. I would walk through the mall for 3 hours and leave and go cry in my car. It was pathetic. Now, I rarely need to do that ever anymore because I've mastered getting referrals. But I don't necessarily teach you how to do that. Although it is kind of fun when you meet somebody really sweet because you're going, I really want to give her a facial because she's so nice, right? Now that's coming from a different place. But this was me just trying to gain my confidence. So I remember I would get home, or I'd get, my referrals, whatever, and it would still be a struggle to call. But let me tell you this story about, I was at the grocery store in Fargo, and this gal was working in like the natural food sections, and I always bought food in that area because I just was kind of raised that way. I feel like my parents were a little bit of hippies. And so I'm buying stuff, and I meet this gal working there, and I offer her a facial. And I mean, I would never have guessed that. I think this was 2005. Okay, I started Mary Kay in 2003. she's still my customer today. She's still a Miracle Set customer, and she's graduating to Time Wise Repair. And I talk to her, and I have the best relationship with her, and we are on the same wavelength. And I could tell you countless stories about that, where I warm chatted or I called a referral, and this happened. This is how it turned out. So you just never know. And my point is, I had to be courageous for just a few minutes or less, or not even. I just had to be courageous for a minute and say, this is going to sound crazy, but I'm with Mary Kay, and I just wondered if I could offer you a free facial. You've been super helpful, or you looked really cute, whatever. I mean, I was really nervous to do it, but she said yes, and here I was, having a facial with a gal that would be my customer forever. Like, she just ordered again. She orders every few months. She's moved all over, and she still orders from me, and I love her. I love her. So that's just one example of many that are on my customer list that you would go, wow, So okay, done ranting about that. Booking, Boss Sheet, business operation for sustainable success. It works. You can do it. Watch for the voucher. Watch for the videos to come out. I will put them on my website, and I am so excited for you. I can't wait, and I want to hear about how this is going. Share your insights, your ahas, your BFOs on our Facebook page. Tag me if you tweet about it. Maybe we'll call it #boss. No, we'll figure something out. I'll figure out a hashtag for us. That's not going to work. We need to have it like Boss Regan Racers or something, or #Regan Racers. We need that for sure. So tag me, #Regan Racers, and happy success to you. All my love and blessings. I can't wait to hear about your success with this. It's going to be so fun. Have a great day.